Hello, Sagittarius. Your weekly love tarot reading begins with the Nine of Pentacles, a Six of Cups, a Two of Swords, a Decision, and a Nine of Wands. Your person is coming in with the Hanged Man, Six of Pentacles, the Hermit, and the Seven of Swords. Treachery, deceptions coming in. At the bottom of the deck we have, the Magician. All right, so coming in with a huge amount of talent and sort of capability. Like right now, all cylinders are firing. Magician energy is very sort of capable. It's like everything that's happening is happening very easily for you. You're really drawing on all of your talents right now. You're just kind of in your element, right, Sagittarius? But let's jump right into your energies with your person in this love connection and how you guys come in this week. So you come in with a Nine of Pentacles and they come in with Hanged Man energy. So interesting. You are really on a path right now. And your readings on my channel have really been indicating this for my collective. This is for Sagittarius who's on a path of just abundance right now. You're working towards something. You may be having a very solitary job. You may be an artist. Whatever it is you do it on your own. Even if you go to like a job where you punch a clock, a 9 to 5 or whatever, that the nature of the job feels like it's just something that you're doing. You're not part of a team per se, and you're just kind of working away. And now is the time where some of the abundance and the blessings are coming in. Hangman energy, your person coming in. Well, Hangman energy, just hanging around, right? I mean, the Hanged Man is a really interesting tarot card. It has so many meanings, but in this instance, we're talking about someone who's kind of happy to just keep the status quo, even though that status quo is not entirely comfortable. Right? I mean, yeah, this person is kind of, a lot of people call it stuck energy, but it isn't so much stuck. They can come out of this when they want to. They just are very lazy right now. They're just not willing to move out of the situation that they're in or the environment or away from the people that they're dealing with. Now, let's get some clarity on that. As I look ahead, there is some challenge here. There's definitely some challenge, but there's some harmony as well. Let's just see, first of all, how are we resonating with these energies here? Because the Hangman energy is interesting. It almost feels as though they may not be ready to move towards you just yet. Give me some clarity on the Hangman first. Seven of Swords comes out twice. Yeah, you're dealing with someone, Sagittarius, who is not quite on the up and up. They're not quite on the up and up. They're not, there's some deception here, or there's definitely some, I'm going to say, deception. Yeah, Thief in the Night energy, but it feels like almost like trying to get over on you, trying to, and ultimately it's very futile, right? Let me come to this. Listen, Seven of Swords energy, this is a really kind of base toxic energy of someone who thinks they're very clever, right? They think they're very clever. They think they've gotten one over on you. They think they've won. They've definitely played underhandedly. They've been quite deceptive, right? But they think they're slick. And ultimately, as you can see there on that card, Seven of Swords card, they really... they really only just burn themselves. They only end up just like really ruining themselves. It's the card for futility because that type of way of achieving things is not achievement. In the short term, you may think you've won, but in the long term, you haven't. And so, yeah, you're dealing with somebody who's not willing to put the effort into going the hard way, doing things the right way. They're still taking a lot of shortcuts. And it's really going to hurt them in the end. Meanwhile, you're kind of like, yeah, I'm good. I'm moving forward. You have Chariot energy here. So you're like, listen, I'm moving forward. I have things I'm doing. My blessings are starting to come in. I've been working really hard. I've been, focusing. I've been focusing on me and my livelihood and my life, my body, my health, my money, all of those things that fall into the realm of the earth. You are sort of on it right now. And so you're following your path. Chariot is coming in. You're only going to be getting more affirmation coming in that you are on the right path, Sagittarius. Okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at how you see each other. Now, here's where there's, some harmony, right? Because you both see each other as a six. You see them as the Six of Cups. They see you as the Six of Pentacles. So they desire to give it to you. They desire to exchange with you. They desire to have an energy connection with you. That is there. And when they see you, they feel that. They feel that exchange. Six of Cups for you. When you see them, you feel like a lot of love and affection. If you hear my cats in the background, you feel a lot of love and affection. You may know this person. You may have known this person for quite some time. This may be an old lover, right? There is some nostalgia here for you when you see them. Nevertheless, you're moving forward, right? And this magician energy that's resonating with you, clearly is resonating with you, because it would never resonate with somebody who's working with such shadow energy here. You are kind of really above all of this, especially if you already know this person. I'm going to say you have a history with them, perhaps, with that Six of Cups. The history may be indeed that, like here, where they want to exchange, they like that energy exchange with you. There may have a lot of times been a money exchange too. That goes hand in hand with this deceptive kind of base energy here. This person may see you as a source of income, as somebody who's able to help them out. There doesn't feel like there's any animosity here from you, though. And it's almost as if you're dealing with somebody that is just really emotionally immature. Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, you're working. You're on an upswing. 10 of Swords. So here for them, there is an end. There's a final blow that comes to them and kind of shakes them out of this energy. Even though Seven of Swords comes in here again, we'll get to that. But it's almost as if here you continue working, right? You're not really slowing anything down for this person, Sagittarius. You are not sort of, you're not changing your path. You're not changing, your journey. Your love is there. You love them, and again, it does feel like for me here, Sagittarius, is some of you, this is an old love, a past love, or this is an ex, right? Whom you still have affection for, but you're not willing to slow down and stop for them in any way whatsoever. And I think that shakes them up a little bit here, right? They may have done some things that they thought was going to get you involved, or get you in that back and forth toxic exchange, and you're just not having it. You're just not engaging. And this may indeed be quite a blow to them, because this is a new way for you to be acting, this new way of behaving from you. The fact that you're just really not slowing anything down, that you're really not giving them the level of attention that they're used to getting from you by their antics, right? Because this feels like very tired, old antics, hangman energy. They're resorting to the same type of methods they resorted to before to get your attention. And it's not working. It almost seems as though it's a kind of final death blow for them, a final ego blow. 10 is completion, but with 10 of Swords, it can also indicate, something that happens finally that really knocks somebody down and gets them to let go of all of the other shit that they've been holding on to, all of this toxicity here. It's like they almost hopefully have this awakening, you would think, right? Here. That it's over, that this ego game that they're engaged in with you, that it's dead and that it's over. And they necessarily have to rise up above that. They necessarily have to learn something from that. It's the lesson of consequences, finally meeting your consequences and having to deal with the fact that things aren't going to go the way you want them to go anymore. Right? Now, how do you guys see your role in the relationship? This is interesting. For them, they have hermit energy and they really pull away and realize they're on their own. You, Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is the decision. I think you still struggle with this decision here, Sagittarius, to completely be rid of them or not. Right? I think what's happening here is that this is an ex, an old love that is continuing to resort to the same sort of toxic tactics they've always resorted to. You don't really have the time for it here. And now you're kind of faced with this next decision of, do I finally completely cut them out of my life and get on with my life? Right? Is it time for me to just finally cut all the strings, all the emotional ties? Because clearly there is still some kind of tie here, but it feels like it's the last little fraying strands or threads of a tie with this person, because you're just so done with this behavior here. Seven of Swords, very toxic behavior. And it's ironically the fact that you are finally really coming to the end and making that decision of to really cut them off or not. Ultimately, the decision, I think, to finally cut them really fully off is what finally gets them to sort of wake up, right? Two more clarity cards. Ultimately, they still resonate with Seven of Swords here, right? So your person still is going to be, I feel like they still have a lot to learn. They're going to still have a lot to learn, right? This last blow to them, it's an ego blow, but the time on their own is what they're really going to have to sort of deal with. Let's get some clarity on that. Yeah, Ace of Wands. Yeah, there's a new awakening that needs to happen there. Knight of Cups for you. Interesting. And a Nine of Wands. Well, again, there's a choice. And now with that Nine of Cups, to clarify, for you, Sagittarius, I think you have a choice between this person and someone else, because a Knight of Cups comes in. So somebody else is coming into your life. And I think this is also pressing the choice. You know, someone else comes into your life and you're faced with the choice of whether or not to finally cut this thing off entirely. Like just finally cut it off, you know, or keep this on the back burner while you entertain this Knight of Cups. There's a real choice here. And I think you're kind of leaning towards completely cutting this person out because you're just done with the toxic. With them, you have that Ace of Wands over the Hermit. So for them, yeah, the time alone is going to get them to wake up to some stuff, right? That Hermit energy, that finally really being on their own, alone, without you, without the connection to you, being cut off completely. I think it's through that they finally begin to find some inspiration, some kind of awareness, enlightenment. Nevertheless, the final outcome cards are interesting because they still resonate with Seven of Swords. I think they're still pretty desperate, and they may still resort to some drastic behavior to try to get you back. You know, because Seven of Swords can be very sneaky, you know. So in this regard here, it almost feels as though the energy of this base Seven of Swords, because this was a clarifier here, but the base Seven of Swords here energy is just one of them being a bit obsessive, a bit sneaky, and possibly doing some shady shit to make sure they can get next to you, near you, around you. I'm not saying anything dangerous or anything like that. I'm just saying that, you know, they're still kind of operating from a real kind of basic toxic way, you know, and there's still going to be a lot for them to learn. This is a possible outcome here. Nine of Wands for you. Yeah, you're still kind of on your own, right? You choose. For you, possible outcome as well could be that you continue to choose kind of on your own, to be on your own, and to kind of keep working towards your goals here, which are positive, but also to kind of still keep working towards possibly calling in a positive love connection. It does feel like it's been a long time since you've had a strong positive love connection. It does feel like, you know, you've been through something. Certainly this person has put you through something, right? And so it's no wonder that you're quite happy to be on your own, to be single right here. But you are calling in a connection. You are calling in positive love. It's just taking a little bit longer. And it does feel like for you, Sagittarius, it's like, especially with this Knight of Cups may turn out to be a bust, right? And it's this feeling, and for some of you, indeed, it will. And it's this feeling almost like, oh, damn, you know, I'm cutting this person off, I'm done. But this new person came in, they turned out to be a dud too. How long is it going to take for me to really get somebody coming in that's on my level and that I can relate to and that's for me? But Nine of Wands energy usually just indicates that that dream, that goal, that objective is truly just around the corner most of the time. It's just this is the last few stages or the last push through. You've done so much work up until now, right? A lot of nines here. Nine, hermit energy. So a lot of solitary work here for both of you. Soul work, just working on your own path. I'm going to pull two out. I think I have two here. Perhaps I have three. Limits, knowing your limits. Okay. Limits, being limited or being limitless, and knowing the difference. We have expression, okay? Expressing yourself, being joyful, being honest, right? Not being suppressed, not being sad, not being limited. Remember, also here, right now, Sagittarius, this is a reading for Sagittarius that really shouldn't be limited in their choices and their connections, because you are going through this incredible journey right now, this journey of self and self and wealth, basically. Money's coming in, health is coming in. You're just like doing you very well. So you shouldn't be limited right now, and certainly not in any love connection. I would say unveiling. Okay, unveiling who you are. Some of you will indeed be unveiling who you are. Some of you are unveiling a new stage in your life. That Nine of Pentacles is money, man. Nine of Pentacles is a nice energy card for Sagittarius or anybody, but especially here for a fiery sign like you, an extremely independent, freedom-loving sign like you who also loves to work hard. Nine of Pentacles is that like your rewards are right around the corner, just as your connection and love is right around the corner. You just have to continue to strive and push hard. But yeah, this is a reading for you and this person, and it really talks about the end, I would say. Here, finally you cutting the last little soul ties you have with this individual in an effort to be like really truly free and to move forward. And also this kind of then sort of causing this person in this connection with you to finally hit that bottom in a way, or to have that last blow to their ego that they needed to have to deal with some of their really treacherous behavior and energy. We're going to pull two animal spirits, one for you and one for your person. Rabbit spirit, it is a lucky time. All right, let's show you these beautiful animal spirits. So interesting, time to collaborate, ant spirit, working, and rabbit spirit, lucky time. So yeah, I do feel like this is a reading for Sagittarius that's kind of still coming. You're dealing with the leftovers of exes and old relationships. In this case, a toxic relationship that you're finally sort of letting go, letting all the ties go on. Let's pull the Oracle of the Divine Sun, the Radiant Divine Sun, for you to see what your astrological energies are. But yeah, it just feels like, you're finally done with this. You're finally sort of like, it's the last soul ties here with this person that you're cutting off. You've been working on yourself very hard. Okay, well, these came out. 3 more. So interesting. By 3s tonight for your reading. We have, first of all, lust. All right. Venus and Aries energy. We have Jupiter and Aquarius energy, innovation. And then we also have Mercury and Sagittarius showing up, your sign showing up, discovery. All right. So yeah, that's coming in for you, Sagittarius. There is some lust there. There is some innovation, some discovery. Yeah, I feel like this is a reading for a Sagittarius that's finally coming out of this connection with this person. Another person does come in, but I don't feel like this person really lasts for you either. And you kind of find yourself again in a singular solitary position. This individual is going to keep trying to come into you, though. They're not done with you yet. Okay, they're going to be trying some of their tactics again to come into you, because There is a strong tie here with this person, but they need to really grow up and learn and do some of that shadow work. If they do, there may still be a chance here for the two of you. But again, this feels like a long-term relationship with somebody who still is unable to grow up, unable to do what they need to do. And they do absolutely find themselves on their own. But for you, Sagittarius, this is more about a journey for you, a journey in independence, freedom, singlehood, right? You're certainly single here, and you're going to be remaining single for a while, I feel like. But this entire time you're resonating up. You're getting sexier, cuter, wealthier, more stable. Everything is zhuzhing up. And what's coming for you around the corner is huge. But here in this love reading, we're going to leave it at that. Sagittarius, this was your weekly love outlook. I hope it resonated. If it did, please like, subscribe, and share. All of those things really help me out, guys. But that's it. I'm going to call it a reading. Sagittarius cross watchers, I wish you love, life, and happiness. And I hope to see you all here next Friday on my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot, for your weekly love outlook. Bye-bye now.